800-960-2929.
Hot button issues that make you see red. If you're asking, where's the justice? It's right here. Justice with Judge Janine. January 8th on Fox News Channel.
British police now charging 9 of the 12 men arrested in a terror sweep last week. Those charged ranged between 19 to 28 years of age, and they're from London, the Welsh city of Cardiff, and the town of Stoke-on-Trent. The 9 men are accused of conspiring to set off bombs in the UK and other terror-related activities. 3 other suspects arrested last week were released.
Just 1 year after a failed terror attempt to blow up a passenger jet over Detroit, the United States is announcing a new beefed-up security plan. Take a listen to Homeland Security Secretary Janet Napolitano talking about the specifics of that plan.
We look at so-called soft targets, the hotels, shopping malls, for example, all of which we have reached out to in the past year and done a fair amount of training for their own employees as well.
Jamie Smith is a former CIA counterterrorism officer, and he joins us live to talk about this. Why hotels and malls, and why now? Do you think, Jamie, there's a specific threat of some sort, or is this just sort of a process of elimination, logical deduction?
Morning, Greg. Yeah, you're right. It is. They've obviously looked at the airports and the rail systems and the governmental areas they can put their hands on. And now this is, as you say, a process of elimination. They're looking at, what is a soft target now? And I mean, Hollywood did not make a comedy about mall cops for no reason, and it's because little security exists at places like malls, hotels, and places of worship, synagogues and churches, and so that's the place where you have the highest concentration of people that are not thinking about security when they're in those places, and they're also 9 times out of 10 they're unarmed, and if security exists, a lot of times it is in the form of cameras, or you've got unarmed security there, which is really not, that's not going to do a lot when you have armed bad guys coming in who are intent on doing damage.
Obviously the government can get intimately involved in security when you're talking about government buildings or airports, public transportation, and so forth. But, shopping malls are, for the most part, private, so are hotels, and the government is legally restricted, are they not?
Yeah, they are. There's only so much that they can do. It's private property, and in that case, the property owner has to resort to private security. They might contract a company like ours or others to come in and do a risk assessment. And once we identify the problems that they might have, then we would suggest how to fix those problems and then do a long-term training piece. But what the government can do is really limited to, as Ms. Napolitano said, providing some training and maybe providing grants in order to buy some cameras and some technology. But until they suspend posse comitatus, there's not going to be any way that they're going to be able to put troops in the malls, which you really wouldn't want. And I mean, the National Guard could be employed, by the governors, but really there's not a lot that the Fed can do when it comes to securing private property.
Yeah. We were just talking a moment ago about the arrests that were made in London. And of course, London, the scene of the famous subway and bus bombings that claimed 52 lives and injured scores of other people. Madrid, pretty much the same thing. Are you surprised that that mode of transportation in the United States has yet to be targeted?
Yeah, I really am. I mean, I travel the corridor from D.C. to New York on a fairly regular basis by rail, and travel around the D.C. Metro a lot by rail, and just it is amazing that we have not had a problem in those areas yet. As I move around and look, the security is so lax, and the damage that was done in Madrid to their rail system, I believe 150 were killed. And then the horrible incident that took place in the UK a couple of years ago. We have to do better in our country in securing our rail systems and our mass transit systems. That is a problem that if we don't get our hands wrapped around this thing, it's going to be bad one day. Yeah. And we need to take the same approach that we've taken to the airports when it comes to the rail. And the passengers aren't going to appreciate it in terms of being able to move and get around like they want to. But it is going to save lives, because if we don't one day, we're going to wish we had.
Yeah. Well, we did foil one planned New York City subway bomb plot. Kudos to law enforcement for that. Jamie Smith, good to see you. Thanks so much.
Well, the tax. All right, thank you. The tax cut deal was passed, but a new tax hike may be coming your way. Why your house just might be the reason to see less money in the bank.
Plus, emergency officials urging folks to stay off the roads. Thousands of travelers stranded along the East Coast. That's a live look outside the headquarters of Fox News Channel. Beautiful day now. The usual hustle and bustle of Midtown slowing to a crawl, though. We're going to take you to some of the hardest hit areas coming up.
It's a snow day. How are you not going to come